Good morning, everyone. This is Shauna, the Tax Goddess, and I was reading a super interesting article that was talking about the three biggest business mistakes that you can make that will lower the value of your company. Now, I want to start off by saying, okay, because one of these impacts what I do directly. So, of course, I have something to say about this. So, I want to start off by saying this. This article, I absolutely agree with, okay? Now, when a business owner is looking at the value of their company, often they're looking at the value of their company because they're either about ready to retire, like in the next 3 to 5, maybe 10 years, they're going to retire, or they're looking to sell, right? Switch into something else, get into something else, okay? So when you are looking at retiring or selling your business, one way or the other, generally you want the highest value for your business as possible, okay? So I believe in reading this article, I believe that's the angle that this particular individual is coming from, because one of the very first things he brings up is focusing too much on minimizing taxes. Stab to the heart, okay? But he's right. He's 100% correct, okay? If Tax Goddess does what we do, as you guys know, we are tax strategists. If we do what you pay us to do, which is reduce your taxes to the bare legal minimum, often that means that you're not showing any profit. Well, if you're not showing any profit and you try to sell your company to somebody else, they're going to look at that bottom line profit and loss statement and they're going to say, you're not making any money, your company isn't valuable, okay? Now, I do have a couple of tweaks to this, okay? And especially over the past 10, maybe 15 years, business brokers and buyers have become a lot more savvy to using tax strategy to minimize the taxes of a business that's being purchased. So some of the strategies that we use, for example, master's exemption, paying your kids, an 831B insurance company, all of these strategies will, of course, lower the profit of your company, but a savvy buyer will add those back because they know that those expenses are not really true operating expenses for the company. They're basically perks and benefits that you as a business owner are using to reduce your taxation. All legal, all above board. Okay. So while I agree with his commentary that focusing too much on minimizing taxes can be dangerous, what I would recommend is if you're working on selling your business, make sure that you're working with a business broker and your buyer to be very clear about which line items in your profit and loss on your financial statements are specifically tax-related purpose items that will help you increase the value. Okay. Now, the second one is focusing on revenue rather than margins. Oh, this is another big one. Absolutely. I hear clients tell me this all the time. Shauna, I made $10 million last year. That's great, but that's your sales number. That's your gross revenue, not your margin, not how much in profit you're actually taking home. So one of the things that we always recommend, of course, is you want that bottom line profit to be as big as possible before we go implement a bunch of tax strategies, right? But that's really what your buyer is looking for. They want to see the most profit compared to, right, the percentage compared to the gross revenue. All right. So things that would actually help you increase margins and add value to a business would be things like recurring agreements for service or maintenance, customer contracts for consumables or replacement parts, subscriptions. Okay. So recurring, annual subscriptions, monthly subscriptions, that kind of thing, and memberships, packages with options, because to a buyer, all of these things mean recurring revenue once they've purchased the business. Okay. Now, you also want to be looking, if you're looking to increase that value of your company, you also want to be looking at what kinds of things can you add with the same level of sales and owner effort as one-time revenue, right? You want to be adding things that do not take the same level of effort. So recurring revenue is always better than one-time revenue. Okay. You're looking for things that have higher margins. All right. You're looking for things that are highly coveted by buyers in certain industries, certain types of things, certain types of contracts are more valued than others. Okay. Generally, businesses with recurring revenue tend to sell at a higher multiple than those that don't. Okay. So it's point number 2 is ensure that you are focusing on margin and not on recurring revenue. Now, the third piece, when someone is too dependent on the owner, when the business is too dependent on the owner. Now, this is my personal theory on this, okay? And I 1000% agree on this. As an owner, if you are working in your business 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, the person buying your business is going to either have to work 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, or hire 2 people to replace what you're doing. So what you want to be able to demonstrate if you are trying to get the highest value for your business is that you could take a month-long vacation and your business runs without you. That's what you're trying to demonstrate. That's really what you're working towards, okay? So when a business cannot continue and function and prosper without the owner, that's when somebody that value is just going to completely drop. It's going to fall off the face, okay? So now what do you do how do you course correct? Okay, if you don't have one of these 3 things, if all of your revenue is one-time revenue, if your business is completely dependent on you, if you have focused too much on minimizing taxes and your profit and loss looks terrible and you want to sell next year, okay, what do? Reach out to us, okay? These are the types of things that we work with all of the time, helping you look at. Now, it may not be an easy fix, okay? It might take a year or 2. You might be stuck in your business to be able to get the sales price value that you're looking for. But with our team, we actually look at what can you do? What kind of changes can you make? What kind of recurring can you change your one-time into recurring? Can you change it to a monthly subscription? These kinds of effectively business consulting types of issues. So if you are looking at increasing your company value and not decreasing your company value, reach out to Tax Goddess. And of course, if you're looking, I know the first one was don't minimize your taxes, but minimize your taxes, just work with the proper buyer and broker to make sure that you're still getting the value you need. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Side note, if you're looking to sell your business, we have five tax strategies that I can think of off the top of my head that help you sell your business without paying a single penny in tax at the time of sale. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to the team and I. You can find us at taxgoddess.com. taxgoddess.com. Get all worked up about the subject. I love it. So let us know how we can help you, and y'all have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.